All right, let's bring you up to date with a couple of folks we'd like to introduce you to. For many patients, diagnosing a muscle wasting disease can just be half the battle. That's why your donations are so important. There's research, education, awareness, treatment that all can't happen unless we take a stand and make a donation, and we can make a difference. We're going to introduce you to a local woman from Dillsburg who nearly lost her life because at first doctors just couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. Luckily, she found her way to an MDA hospital. Here's her story. Take a look.
Back 20 years ago, I would be dead now if I had myasthenia gravis as badly as I did. Myasthenia gravis is one of the 43 neuromuscular diseases that the MDA covers. In fact, out of those 43, 3 actually have, if not cures, at least medicines and procedures that will ameliorate them somewhat. And fortunately, myasthenia gravis is one of them. Well, at first I started bumping into things, seeing double, weakness, dizziness, and inability to speak.
That was the scary part. You know, you think, what is going on here? And it could be anything.
We went to an optometrist on a Friday, and he said I should go to a neurologist right away. We set up an appointment, but we couldn't get one for 2 weeks. In the meanwhile, Sunday night, I woke up my husband and told him I couldn't breathe. So he rushed me to the hospital. They performed a lot of tests on me for 3 days, trying to find out why I was unable to breathe or even open my eyes anymore. But when I got to Hershey, they immediately put me into intensive care unit. And I was fitted with every device you can imagine and a lot of different lines for transfusions or for saline solutions and so forth. And they began plasmapheresis, taking that plasma out that had the antibodies and replacing it with synthetic plasma or plasma from donors. And after several treatments of this, in about 2 weeks, I could actually open my eyes and recognize people. I saw one of my doctors about a year later, and he looked at me kind of strangely, and I said, "You're looking at me funny." He says, "Yes," he said, "we didn't think you were going to make it."
You know, just getting up and looking over at her and her being there and not in a hospital bed and not with sedation going through all this stuff that she went through. You feel lucky.
And now, Meet the Family, sponsored by Bathfitter.
And it is now my pleasure to introduce in person Carol and Al Bogerman. That was a great piece. We learned a lot about you guys, and you're a singer, is that right? A little singer.
Well, I used to sing a great deal. I was a music major in college.
I can see why.
And I've done opera, musicals, church choirs, the usual, you know.
You're tremendous. Well, what I want you to do is tell everybody the name of your disease again.
Myasthenia gravis.
Myasthenia gravis.
It means a very grave muscle disease.
And you didn't get this until you're 67.
67. That's the thing about these diseases. Nobody knows if they're going to get something like this. They or somebody in their family or one of their friends. We don't have any tests to find out the likelihood of this now.
Let's talk to Al. Al, what was it like for you to go through this with her?
Well, in the beginning, it was scary because I didn't know what she had for a couple of days, and I didn't know what was going on because her eyes were crooked.
Right.
She couldn't breathe. She was on life support in a couple of days. So when I learned about myasthenia, then I realized that most people arrested and have a normal life afterwards.
And let's bring everybody up to date on that. You guys live in Dillsburg. Here you are with facing this. Tell us how MDA played a part in this.
Well, they played a very large part of it. In the first place, Hershey is one of the hospitals that is affiliated with the Muscular Dystrophy Association. They offer, and there's a clinic there where anyone that suspects this kind of problem can go for diagnosis and treatment.
Now, you're also very big in the support groups, is that right?
I wouldn't say that. I do go to the MDA meeting every 2 months. We find out all about what other people are doing, what adjustments they're making in their kind of life.
So MDA is a great resource for you guys. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for being part of it. And just so you know, Carol and Al are both big volunteers. They've been working hard behind the scenes to help out with food and whatever we need. So thank you so much for being a part of today's event. And you're an inspiration. Thank you so much. All right, time to get you caught up on what's happening as far as the numbers go. We'll send it over to the tote board.